Coming up on this week's news, New York's congestion pricing plan is on hold indefinitely. Baltimore's shipping channel could reopen this week, 11 weeks after the Key Bridge collapse in March. And hurricane season is underway. Which toll roads are also evacuation routes? We have the first in a series of reports. Greetings and welcome to our weekly update of all that is coming down the pike. Nearly 11 weeks to the day since the collapse of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, the Baltimore shipping channel is likely to reopen this week. The plan was to have the channel reopened by the weekend just past. Salvage crews have already removed the last of the large steel trusses blocking the channel, a 700-foot section of the collapsed bridge that had impeded the full reopening. The channel has only been partially operational since the second week of April. The channel was taken out of commission completely following the March 26th cargo ship collision and subsequent bridge collapse. Elsewhere, the newest segment of North Carolina's Triangle Expressway is set to open this summer, but first, a street festival of sorts. The new extension of Raleigh's 540 Loop will be home to the 540 Fest on June 22nd, a festival featuring a 5K race and various 10K cycling races, plus a duathlon challenge featuring both. There will be a kids zone plus food and drink, all to celebrate the pending opening of Phase 1 of the Triangle Expressway's extension. The staging area is a point near Wake Technical College on the new Phase 1, which extends the Triangle Expressway to I-40. Phase 2 is already under construction. That got underway just a few weeks ago. New Yorkers are phased and bemused now that New York's congestion pricing plan for Manhattan has been put on hold. In case you missed it, New York's Governor Kathy Hochul put the Metropolitan Transit Authority's plan for congestion pricing below 60th on hold, stating the new tolls could impose economic hardship at a time when inflation is just getting under control. The MTA had been prepping New Yorkers and travelers for congestion pricing with webinars and online videos. The start of congestion pricing had been set for June 30th. There is no word at this time about when the congestion pricing plan may be allowed to go forward. What is going forward is summer travel. As schools let out for the summer, families are planning their summer trips. But what happens if your vacation ends up in an evacuation zone? This week, we start looking at the toll roads that become evacuation routes from summer storms like hurricanes, and we start where else but in Florida. If any state sticks its neck out to hurricanes, it's Florida. And when one strikes, getting people out of the danger zone becomes the paramount order for emergency responders. In Florida, getting people away from the shore is always the first priority. Beaches are no place to be during a storm. But when a big storm threatens, like Hurricane Irma in 2017, highways and toll roads become key evacuation routes as well. 3 major toll roads are critical to evacuations in Florida, particularly from South Florida. Alligator Alley, which is I-75, the Beachline Expressway, or State Road 528, and of course, Florida's Turnpike. When a storm strikes, tolls will be suspended on toll roads to accommodate an evacuation, and an additional lane of traffic will be added using the shoulder of the road. Alligator Alley is the only toll road in Florida that can evacuate in both directions. The direction of the evacuation will depend on whether the storm will make landfall on the west coast or the east coast. If a storm does make landfall on the east coast, it is also likely State Road 528, Orlando's Beachline Expressway, will become an evacuation route. Traffic on the beach line will be moved from the Space Coast inland westward to Orlando and Florida's Turnpike. Florida's Turnpike itself always evacuates northbound. In very rare cases, travel lanes may be reversed to accommodate sudden or large evacuations, and the southbound lanes also become northbound. This was done when Hurricane Andrew struck. On all 3 roads, the right shoulder will be the one used for an excess travel lane, but beware of the fact the lane is narrower than regular travel lanes, and they come with barriers like overpasses, guardrails, gutters, and grates, and of course the noise of the rumble strips. Be aware also that during an evacuation, service plazas along Florida's Turnpike will become overloaded with evacuation traffic, so it is a good idea to plan ahead, even if you're visiting for a short time. That way you can avoid having to stop for gas or food until you've reached your evacuation destination. Next week, we take a look at the Carolinas, which are also highly susceptible to hurricanes, as well as Texas and Louisiana the following week. Until then, drive safely, remembering situational awareness. And as always, thank you very much for watching from all of us at Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.